Hello everybody and welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today we have an early morning Australian Grand Prix edition. You may well see the bags under my eyes. I am a tired boy and I know it is the smallest violin ever for me to complain as an English fan about unsociable time zones. I commend Formula 1 fans around the world, in Australia, America, so on, that watch F1 races at crazy times pretty much every single week. I've had one early race and I'm finished. Anyway, your reactions to the Australian Grand Prix were awesome. They always are, so let's dive into them right now. First up, we have at Ben Ashcroft 27, where we start at the very beginning of the race, as always. Chronology, that's the one. Lewis off to an absolute fly. Yeah, P5 on the grid, Lewis. Got up to P3 by turn 1, even did Sergio Perez. And we thought, okay, this is a bit different, because of course it was 2 Red Bulls versus 1 Ferrari at the front of the grid, but Lewis got stuck in. Lap 1 was relatively clean, but also quite chaotic. Valtteri Bottas, he just was absolutely on one. I'm pretty sure through turns 9 and 10, he kicked up some serious dirt. Heavy fuel, lap 1, that took some serious minerals. And then you had Carlos Sainz that, he couldn't have had a worse weekend for someone trying to challenge Charles Leclerc for the championship. Couldn't have gone worse. At Chitoffel, Bottas pass on Tsunoda. As I say, Valtteri was absolutely on one on lap 1, and he scored some points, and I'm actually pretty gutted that his 103 streak of making it into Q3 was broken. It's one of those records you just want it to carry on forever, but unfortunately it couldn't. But Valtteri still doing a mega job in that Alfa Romeo. At Campy 18, Sainz in the start be like. Yeah, not only did Carlos Sainz DNF, but he was falling back like a stone at the start. Of course, he started on the hard tyres, but there were a few other drivers that did start on that white-walled hard tyre. That's the one. This could be an interesting episode where my brain's like, Matt, you got up really early. But either way, Sainz was falling back a lot. I think he was 14th, maybe even behind the Hasses at one point on lap 1, and then just pushed a bit too hard and crashed. There was obviously going to be an investigation as to whether or not his Ferrari had a problem, and I'm not going to cast judgment too much in case there was, but if there wasn't a problem, it's a mistake you can't be making, because he needs to be getting consistently high results, because Leclerc, his teammate, is doing that. At Hair Dye Ginger, when someone brings out the safety car. Now, there's not going to be a lot of Nicholas Latifi slander. I know that there was this qualifying incident, which for me was probably 80% Lance Stroll's fault. I'm not going to go into everything. We'll go into that in the WTF1 podcast. But for me, I don't feel like there was a few, Latifi, this, Latifi, that always crashes. I don't think he was really at fault. Stroll turned into him. Anyway, this meme, Latifi, no, what? Sorry, force the habit. Of course, Latifi, I was just kind of looking at the timing screen. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's just been told to do the race in one piece. It doesn't matter how slowly you get there. Alex Albon, on the other hand, points. Or a point. At Fock My Haas, Carlos Sainz's start. Look at me, I am the Bottas now. Now, I think Carlos Sainz's greatest fear is probably becoming the Valtteri Bottas of Ferrari. He wants to challenge for the championship. You can see it every time he's interviewed and is beaten by Charles Leclerc. He's not happy about this happening, whether it's in practice, qualifying, or the race. You can see the anger, especially after qualifying and the problem he had there. I think he said he will be angry until he goes to sleep for today's race. I feel like he's now going to need another sleep to stop being angry about today's race. But yeah, I think that's his greatest fear, and he's going to have to stop losing points one way or another to Charles Leclerc. At Camposano Max, it's lights out and away we go. Signs. It was. I love this meme. It was beautifully executed, Max. Well done. It's not tweet of the week. I'm sorry, but it was probably runner-up. So well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Sorry. At Quast_F1, Charles right now. And as I'm speaking about Ferrari, I should probably shout out, all aboard the hype train. Yes, if you haven't got your own, check out the WTF1 store. Lots of merch, including this, that you can get right now. So click on the link. Join the hype train if you want to. Join something else if you want to. Return of the Mag, whatever. Go check it out. And also, whilst I'm shouting stuff out, please do subscribe to the channel. I know we've hit over 1 million, which is an incredible achievement. but I still want you all on this journey through this 2022 F1 season and beyond. So big love. Anyway, looping back to the meme. Charles right now, lots of porpoising. That Ferrari going down towards turn 9 and 10, the fast left-right. I don't know how they do it. It was insane. I don't know how. They've still got pace, clearly. The Mercedes have to fix their porpoising issues because it affects their pace. Ferrari like, no, we're going to add a bit more bouncing. Unbelievable. At Agene Blue AF, Leclerc leading the AusGP. I think that sums up pretty much the kind of bouncing that we were looking at. And it was clearly very fast. Maybe the Ferrari was bouncing so much, because they were really good on their tyres, that the whole car was just going off the ground and maybe less tyre wear. This is me being sarcastic, not legit, okay? Tired Matt, bit of sarcasm, sprinkling it in the show. But clearly it works. More bouncing, please. If it gives them pace, love it. At Aldridge96_AFC, probably should have included this at the start, but oh well. Waking up for the first early race since 2019. It pretty much sums up what I was saying at the start of the show. But as I say, smallest violin ever. I won't complain. I'll just get on with it, you know? Feels weird having an entire day, like it's F1 Sunday, and yet it's really early in the morning, and it's a whole day of non-F1. I quite like looking forward to the F1 race. You know, you kind of bed yourself into the pre-race coverage, whereas for today, I kind of turned on during Martin's grid walk because I didn't want to get out of bed any earlier than that. Is that bad? Does that make me a bad F1 fan? I hope not. At Fairbeezy, Charles 9 seconds ahead like. So we thought at the start, Verstappen and Leclerc, we could see another ding-dong battle. Verstappen looked a little bit quicker at the start on the mediums before he went through that graining phase. And I was thinking, oh no, he's sat in the DRS. It's going to be easy pickings, just like Saudi, getting flashbacks to then. But then he just all of a sudden got that front left graining and fell off. Like, it was ridiculous how much pace he lost when those medium tyres started to go off. But Ferrari just like, nah, mate, don't care. Tyre wear, what's that? At Cyril_O, Vettel on the Scooteria. Now, I mean, Vettel comes back to Formula One. He's had COVID. He's had some time to chill out. You know, he said that he felt like he was late to school. Could you have had a worse weekend, not only for Sebastian Vettel, but Aston Martin as a whole? I don't think so. It was absolutely dreadful. Vettel, I'm not even joking, may well have had more scooter time than actual F1 car time. Everything breaks, he was making mistakes, he was going into the gravel. I'm starting to be concerned as to whether this will be Seb's last season. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to manifest this into reality, I'm just being legit. I want to see him continue for, you know, a few more years, definitely. But if Aston Martin are producing a car like that, it's going to be difficult for him to justify staying and doing this F1 circus more as a four-time champ. At Crystal Horner, man can't catch a break. He can't. He did make mistakes as well over the course of the season, weekend, I guess season as well, it's his first race. But yeah, he also had a terrible amount of luck and clearly is just not comfortable with the car. We don't see mistakes like that from Sebastian Vettel, we don't. At FIFA NR6, Aston Martin after this weekend. Of course, yeah, Lance Stroll had a terrible one as well, although he looked like he was going to get points until he weaved all over the straight. I don't know how Aston Martin managed to haul that car into the points at one stage of the race. And then he was just weaving around, got a 5-second penalty, and that was pretty much the difference between potentially scoring points and not. At Efred97, this sums it up pretty much for Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel coming back from COVID like. I'm sure he watched the first two races on TV and would have seen that it was going to be a struggle. But I just want to go back to Baku, you know, that lovely little P2. That's where we want to see him. We do. At _Kayla_Knight_. I'm realising a lot of these memes are about Aston Martin, but I feel like that was a big talking point in the race. AM this whole weekend. Of course, don't forget, there is a cost cap. They can't just keep repairing the car and spending hundreds of thousands, maybe even into the millions, repairing big crashes because it just comes out of their development cost and they need to put all of their money into development because their car is a dog. Oh, there's another Aston Martin meme. I'm sorry, at Sports Chasm. Sebastian Vettel fans. A smile might be good, nothing to smile about in my life. I enjoyed that. It was good. Don't use Facebook. I think that's a Facebook. That is Facebook, but I love that sort of stuff. Good creativity. Well done. There's another one. I generally don't remember liking this many, but we're going to carry on. At Phoenix TV X, Seb is loving the scooter this weekend. Of course, got a €5,000 fine for going onto the track without permission and within the window that they're not allowed to be on the track after a session. And I just love how he was no-handed at one point with his helmet literally on top of his head. Just doesn't really care, does he? Just wanted to get back to the pits. Probably knew he was going to get fined. Just carried on anyway. Why not? It's Seb Vettel. Oh, we've got a double submission. But clearly, Max was on one. At Campusano Max. Red Bull powertrains every weekend. Well, not every weekend. They did very well in Saudi Arabia. But of course, a double DNF in Bahrain. And then Max Verstappen DNFing again for Australia. 6th in the championship, Max is now. And George Russell is P2. George is P2 in the championship. I know it's not based on pure pace, and he has had some good fortune with safety cars in the race today and whatnot, but P2. Like, that just shows that there's clearly mistakes from Red Bull and not being able to get the reliability. Carlos Sainz not finishing the race. Mercedes is just like, yeah, we're just gonna pick up all these points. No worries. You guys keep crashing and, you know, not finishing the race, and we'll take 15 points here, 12 points there. And when we fix our car, we're going to win everything. I am still concerned that Mercedes are going to win the championship. I say concerned because obviously they've won the last 8. It'd be nice to see a new winner in terms of the team's championship, but I think they will fix their problems and be back at the front. Do you agree? I know some of you don't, but hey, opinions are like, I was about to say, a-holes. Everyone has them. At Sega United, Charles Leclerc sitting in P1 ahead of all the drama. Yeah, he was just chilling. We hardly saw him for the entire race. That's when you know there's some serious dominance. And, you know, maybe if you're a Ferrari sponsor, even though you want to see the team win, you also want to have camera time for your sponsors. So I'm sure they're kind of in a mixed... They wanted Max to be within a couple of seconds, so there was a bit more camera time, I'm sure.
Who has won Tweet of the Week?
Okay, Tweet of the Week time now. And it goes to a Red Bull Power Unit meme. So I'm sorry, Red Bull fans, but it made me laugh. At the Chaos Tree _ Red Bull PU. Kaboo. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing because Charles Leclerc gained from it, but I just found it funny. I thought it was a good meme. So I'm sorry, you know, if you're watching IBR and IBR being Internet's Best Reactions, and you're still hurt because your favourite driver didn't do well, maybe you just need to give it an extra hour before you watch the episodes, because you know the memes will come and you know that some of them will be savage. I didn't make them. Don't blame me. At Villy Julien 15, Stroll driving this weekend. Okay, I think that's probably going to be the end of the Lance Stroll slander, but I do love this GIF more than life itself. It is absolutely brilliant. And it kind of sums up Lance anyway, because I feel like he doesn't have very much spatial awareness, so... I think it matches up quite nicely. At Ziggy Man Sad. Now this is good because this is what I wanted to talk about. How I feel watching the Australian Grand Prix. What an amazing fight throughout the whole race. Podium sitters? Nah. Midfield battle. The midfield battle was awesome. I can't even begin to start to describe all of the different things that were going on, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. Some people are saying it was a boring race, and I'm not saying it's a stunner by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a different kind of one. Of course, Charles Leclerc, you know, driven off. And us, as F1 fans, have started to expect fights for the lead, side-by-side battles, every single race. We have been treated in 2021 and the start of 2022. But a race like that, granted, the most exciting battles are the ones for the front, but, you know, you have to accept that that's not the case, and the midfield was awesome. It was brilliant to watch, just side-by-side battles and mistakes and everything else that was going on. So I enjoyed it. As I say, wasn't a banger, but the midfield definitely made up for what could have been a very boring race. At Nabil the Unicorn. So, of course, we had a team radio from Checo, Sergio Perez, saying, are you still awake? And Checo's engineer right now. I think a lot of us were probably quite struggling at points during the race when the midfield weren't giving us some great entertainment. And yeah, it's a good meme. That's probably up there with runner-up as well. Maybe joint runner-up, so well done, Nabil. At Winter Speed, I'm a simple man. Congrats to all. This is brilliant, but I like this. Alex Albon just stayed out for what must have been, well, I say must have been, it was 99% of the race. Did the entire race on hard tyres, had great pace. He pulled away from Ocon towards the end. Maybe Ocon made a mistake, but either way, he was holding that position, pitted on the last lap, and managed to get P10. I think it was a brilliant strategy. Clearly, they were in a great groove with those hard tyres. And Williams just decided to keep them out, maybe risk it for a potential another VSC or safety car. It didn't happen, but they still got a point. Alex Albon, love to see it. Great result. I think everybody loved to see it. So well done, Alex.
It's time for Social Media Team Championship.
Social Media Team Championship time now, and I don't think there was a lot of banter actually this weekend, so I'm a little bit upset with the teams, and I will be sending them a strongly worded message. But either way, the top three from the Australian Grand Prix. In third place, we have Williams Racing. Albon! I felt like I needed to just give them that. One, because I was really happy for them, liked the tweet, and also it matches the points that they scored today. 1, so they get 1. Well done, Williams. You didn't win, but you got 1. In second place, we have Haas F1. Please send a moped to turn 12. Now, this was in qualifying, obviously bantering about the Aston Martin, and I love it, because Haas were taking the mickey out of, including me. I was taking the mickey out of them last year, and, you know, the fact they're at the back. But they're taking the mickey out of other teams now. They're starting to build up that confidence that, yeah, okay, right, Australia wasn't great for them, but generally speaking, they've scored a decent amount of points already. I'm going to take the mick out of someone else now. So fair play, Haas. You scored 2 points. And finally, the winners of the Social Media Team Championship for Australia are Scuderia Ferrari. Nice crop. Now, this was to do with McLaren's post of a young Danny Rick wearing headphones, and then they cropped the t-shirt where there was a Ferrari logo, but they cropped it halfway. I mean, they could have just cropped the whole thing and then no one would have known, but they just did half, just to kind of tease the Ferrari logo. I mean, it's brilliant stuff. Ferrari, well done. You score maximum points. So that's 1 point for Williams, 2 points for Haas, and 3 points for Ferrari.
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
I'm sorry if you hate this segment, by the way, but I feel like it's such a long-standing part of the show that I just keep it in. Even though it gives me pain, it gives some of you pain, some of you turn off the video. But hopefully there's enough of you that like this segment. And if you do, let me know in the comments so I know whether to keep this or not. Because I'm in pain doing this, especially with how early it is. So here we go. The finishes were Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Ricciardo, Ocon, Bottas, Gasly. Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Ricciardo, Ocon, Bottas, Gasly, Balban, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Ricciardo, Ocon, Bottas, Gasly, Albon, Zhou, Stroll, Michaud. I was going to say Mick Schumacher. It's not. It's just not the whole name, though, is it? Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Ricciardo, Ocon, Bottas, Gasly, Albon, Zhou, Stroll, Schumacher, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Latifi, Alonso. I don't care. That's literally going to be it. I don't care. I know it was terrible. I don't care. And non-finished were Verstappen, Vettel, Sainz. There you go, boom. There you have it. The internet's best reactions is done and dusted. I am actually quite proud of myself that I managed to get to the end. I am sorry if I missed out a particular thing. Let me think. I think the McLarens, by the way, double points finish. Danny Rick looked great. He was right behind Lando Norris at the end of the race, and that's what you want. That's what you want to see from Danny Rick. So great result from the McLarens. Love to see it. George Russell, of course, podium. P2 in the championship. Doing very well in Mercedes, you have to say. Ocon, great result. P7. I already said about Albon. Zhou, just so close to the points, but didn't manage it. And Fernando Alonso, what could have been? He could have had front row, but unfortunately, one of the worst races he's could have possibly wished for. So there you go. There's some like roundup stuff. I'm sorry, some of you get very angry if I don't include a certain thing and then think it's in an agenda. I'm like, oh, you didn't mention blah blah blah. You hate this pack. No, it's just because I'm a human and sometimes I forget. Anyway, that's the Internet's Best Reactions. Thank you so much for getting involved. Hashtag WTF1 if you want to be involved next time, which will be at Imola in 2 weeks' time. Yes, it is. So hashtag WTF1. You may well win an incredible Fanatec prize. Thank you to Fanatec for sponsoring this video. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for the next Internet's Best Reactions. Of course, we have the podcast coming out on Tuesday, Monday, if you're a Team WTF1 subscriber, £2 a month. If you want to go and sign up and watch it live on Monday, you can indeed, link in the description, and we'll have some reactive content as well. I'm just kind of nattering on now. You can see the coffee really kicking in, and maybe going to start to dip down, and I'm just chatting rubbish now. Bye!